Hi, my name is Molly and I work at Gold Systems on the AWQMS support team. In this video, I will be showing you how to manually enter your lab data. So in a previous video, I showed you how to import your field and lab data, but in the case that you want to manually enter it, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we'll hover over Enter and we'll click Results and Activities. I have access to a lot of data entry pages, but you won't have as many, so choose the one that is for your mine. I'm going to use Skyline as an example, as I've done in previous videos, so I'll choose UTOGM-laboratory parameters Skyline. So this looks very similar to the field data entry page, a little different because it's for lab data, but you have the activity information up top. And then if you scroll down, that is where you fill out your results. So first, I'll walk through filling out the activity information. Some is already filled out. So for example, the organization ID, the activity media name, the activity ID is automatically generating. The sample collection method ID is going under lab sample. The equipment ID is water bottle. Since I am entering lab data for Skyline, that's the project I have access to, and I have access to monitoring locations for Skyline. So your monitoring location ID list will look different if you are entering data for a different mine. So I'll choose a monitoring location ID. I'll choose an activity start date. I'll put in my activity start time. You would choose your activity start time zone, whether you were in Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time. Activity type, you'll say this was a standard lab result, or was it a field replicate, or was it a blank? Choose whatever. I'll go ahead and stick with just sample routine. And then I'll choose an activity media subdivision name. This isn't required, but if Utah Oil and Gas and Mining wants you to fill it out, you should. But this is the subdivision name under the media name water. So if it's groundwater, or maybe it is surface water or drinking water, whatever it may be, this is where you kind of go into more detail of where these results are coming from. I'll go ahead and say groundwater, and then I can fill out an activity personnel name. So I have Eric and Greg. I'll go ahead and choose Eric. And I could put in an activity comment. So if I had any observations that day, or if there was issues in the analysis, the lab told us something went awry, maybe contamination, etc. You would want to make note of that here. You don't have to fill out an activity comment, but it is there for your use. If I scroll down, this is where we get to filling out actual results. So you can see we have the ability to report a result detection condition. You actually won't be able to do this for every parameter because not all of them, if I scroll over, have a result detection limit set up. If this is something you need, let us know and we will update the configuration. We would just need to know the result detection limit type, the value, as well as the unit. If you scroll down, we do have a couple set up, I believe one for sulfate, and then if I scroll down more, one for turbidity. So you will be able to report a result detection condition for those parameters, but not for any that you don't have result detection limits set up for, if that makes sense. So for example, for turbidity, I can say it was not detected or not reported, whatever it may be. I'll go ahead and say not detected. If I reported a result detection condition, I wouldn't report a result value. That's the best practice. So for example, if you report a result value, you don't report a result detection condition. Whereas if you report a result detection condition, you're not going to report a result value. think of them as one and the same. It's one or the other. So I'll go ahead and for the rest, I'll just enter some dummy data. Since there's a lot of lab parameters, I'm not going to fill out every single one, but no, you can. You can fill out as many results as you need, but you don't have to fill them out all. So if you keep some blank, that's totally fine. The activity will still save. Just make sure you get all your results that are associated with that activity in. So we have some results in. So now if I wanted to save this, I could go ahead and click return. That would save this activity, but bring me to the previous page. Save would save this activity, but keep me on the current page. Add new would also save the current activity and add a new one. So you would have a new data entry page to fill out. This is what you would want to use if you were adding a new activity right after this. Whereas if you clicked save and then started to fill out for the next activity, you would really just be overriding that previous activity. So at the end, you would just have one activity, if that makes sense. So add new is a great option. Attach a file also saves the current activity, but it gives you the ability to attach a file. If you didn't want to save this activity, you could go ahead and click cancel or just navigate out of this page. And you can also view the configuration. Most of you have read-only rights to the configuration, so you won't be able to change anything, but you can see how it's mapped and how it's working. I'll go ahead and click save. And I get a message that all items were saved successfully. Since this was dummy data, I'm going to go ahead and click view saved activity. It'll bring me to the activity detail page, which I can look at. If I scroll all the way down, I see the results I entered. Here, you can see the audit information, so who created it, when it's been modified, if it's submitted to the EPA, and if it's visible to the public. In this case, since it's dummy data, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. But that is how to manually enter your lab data. Very similar to how to manually enter your field data. But if you have any questions, please let us know.